Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2017. Microsoft just wrapped up their press conference, and we have a lot to discuss. Like the fact we have to say Xbox One X instead of Scorpio. I'm Damon Hatfield, and joining me once again is Ryan McAfee, Gav Murphy, Alana Pierce. Oof, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot.
There's a lot going on.
A lot to unpack here.
Over 90 minutes.
Remember, you can catch IGN's complete E3 coverage on Twitter at e3.twitter.com. Tweet us at IGN with your questions about all the Microsoft news and use the hashtag E3 2017. We'll answer your questions live on the air, so proofread that stuff. Okay, let's talk about what we saw. Microsoft came out swinging, promising 22 exclusives during the show. We got to start off with the name.
Yeah.
Xbox One X. Ryan, you called it, at least in terms of it not being called Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, I know. It just Scorpio would be such a weird name to any mom or dad trying to go in and buy a console for anybody, for somebody in their family. X doesn't necessarily tell you a lot about what it is as well, but it's people have pointed out to me on Twitter, I'm a big fan of Tesla, and they have an S and an X. So I guess now the next Xbox needs to be the Xbox 3 to just keep the parallel going. But that
sounds naughty. It sounds dirty, like Xbox One X. Like it sounds like what everyone's Hotmail address was when they first got a Hotmail address, like _XXX.
I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that. I don't know, but you talk about mom and dad going in to buy an Xbox Scorpio. I wonder if calling it the Xbox One X causes confusion for people. My kid wants an Xbox. Which one, X or an X?
The expensive one or the not
probably the cheaper.
The name doesn't really move my needle one way or the other. It's just like, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great either. It is what it is.
Alana, what do you think of the name?
Yeah, I don't feel negative about it, but I do think that it doesn't do a good job of telling us what it is at all. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of confused people, and especially with the S being so small and so awesome. It's like, I don't understand why anyone would get the X, but then they said it was smaller. So if we can physically see it, having that comparison might make a difference.
And I could have seen, I see the problem in calling it Xbox One 4K, because it would seem like you had to have a 4K TV to use it, but they spent the whole conference doubling down on this is native 4K, you can play everything in 4K. That would have seemingly been a little clearer than Xbox One X, but again, it's fine.
Yeah,
sure.
It's fine.
One quick note, we are going to have the Xbox One X here on the stage at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. I believe, Ryan, you're going to be sitting in on that discussion with me, so please look forward to that. To show off the power of the Xbox One X and those 4K graphics, we got to look at Forza Motorsport 7. Alana, first impressions.
I, at this point, cannot tell the difference between cars in-game and in real life.
Yeah.
I've definitely hit the point, especially with that GTR, where I was like, I can't believe this isn't real in the rain. It looked absolutely beautiful. Didn't tell us entirely what we're going to be doing in the game, but I expect it's going to be a classic motorsport game. We saw two very, very different environments, and it looks great.
Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we get the sexy Forza trailer every year, and the game turns out, plays well, and looks good every year. I don't think I would have picked this to lead with as the first, like, okay, Scorpio, here's the first game we want to show you. But I mean, it's going to be really good, and it's going to look really good. But there's something maybe not so sexy about a Forza game, in the sense that as far as showing it off on an E3 stage, like,
man, I totally disagree.
Great.
No, I think like the way that GTR looks, like, it's such a beautiful car, and seeing it in the rain on the track, like that, I love that. I think it looks awesome.
Like, it does look really good, but I do kind of see the point, like, because I was watching it and I'm not into like car games at all, so I was watching it and I was kind of like lost for a bit, going, yeah, this looks really nice, it looks really good. I didn't notice that Dan Greenwald seems to have a lot more hair. Like, maybe because the Scorpio, well, the Xbox One X is like powering his hair now. He's got way more hair. That's really good.
We did get to continue our tradition of a car on the stage at Microsoft.
They announced a car on the stage this year. It's crazy.
They're announcing cars. Was that one of the 22 exclusives?
Yeah, I think that counts. So Ryan, to your eye, do you not see a lot of graphical improvement with?
No, I mean, it looks incredible. I mean, the thing is, Horizon looks great. It's a 30 frames per second open world game, at least on the Xbox One. We'll see what they do with the X. But Motorsport is a closed circuit track racer that they dial it up to 60 and make it look and run well. I mean, this is going to be stunning for sure when we get a look at it, which we should be hopefully seeing it tomorrow, and then we'll have coverage on IGN immediately thereafter.
Yeah. Also look forward to that. Oh, also Forza is also going to be on the show tonight.
Even
along
better
with the Xbox One X. So, I know, Gav, you're saying you weren't a big car guy.
Yeah.
Were you impressed by what you saw of Forza?
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful game. It's really, really nice. Like, I think I've been saying Porsche wrong this entire time. I have no idea you meant to say Porsche.
Don't start the eternal Porsche versus Porsche debate. That's, we don't have time for that.
Well, apparently, I've been saying Mojang wrong this whole time.
Oh, really?
Also.
What? Guys.
We also got our first taste of Metro Exodus, a new Metro game, which is open world and set to debut next year. Now, this game looked super beautiful.
It's amazing.
If the game actually ends up looking like what we saw today, I mean...
Yeah, they said in engine, but that can always, with marketing, like that can always be dicey. That's I tweeted a similar sentiment, Damon. If it actually looks like that on your television with your controller in your hand, then my goodness, that's one of the most visually impressive games and certainly shooters I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just want to say I think that's one of the best trailers I may have ever seen, in that it had no text, no dialogue, and just showed us exactly what it's like. And knowing the Metro universe, I mean, it looks... I want to play it. I think that was my favorite trailer of the show.
The game literally, except not literally, spoke for itself.
It did,
right?
yeah.
The game literally maybe spoke for itself.
Yeah, Gab, what'd you think?
Well, that's the thing. I never played the Metro games, but this looks amazing. As soon as it came on, it was like, this feels like a new thing. That's what I really liked about it, and it's obviously really new for me because I've never played the other ones, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think like when it gets into the actual fight thing, and like you push that giant rat monster thing over the cliff, I was like, this is amazing. It's so good. It looks like a lot of fun.
So they gave us this footage without sort of any setup or explanation. Do you think the Metro name is well known enough that people actually know what they're getting into with this?
I feel like it doesn't matter because, like, as I said, like, it's not well known to me. I know the name, but I've never played it. But I was still super excited by this just because, as you said, like, it speaks for itself. It looks so cool.
The lighting in this is incredible. Like, right off the monster, what just happened when we shot the monster, like, that's where I started to go, oh, man, this is something else. It does look next gen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to say. And I think it's, in terms of, like, whether the Metro name means anything, I think with what this is, the way this trailer is made is it's really appealing to people who may have never played a Metro game.
Yeah.
And I think it'll appeal just as much to people who love the Metro franchise.
Yeah.
What was the last Metro game? Can you remember?
Last
2034? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. And I think it was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And these are post-apocalyptic games.
Very heavy on survival,
Yeah.
and some like psychological trippy stuff in there as well. They're fascinating, like really interesting journeys. I like them a whole lot.
Yeah, you mentioned the survival. We saw examples of how ammo is very scarce, right? You have to pick up your arrows from
Anything.
You have to manage your filters for your gas masks. Like it gets pretty intense.
Yeah.
If you had to guess what the subtitle Exodus had to do with, what would you say, Ryan?
I guess you're trying to get out of some horrible place, I suppose. And you and maybe whatever's left of humanity. I think in the previous games, because I've only dabbled a little bit in the previous one, you're kind of stuck in like the underground, like the subway tunnels,
You're in the Metro a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the name, But I actually, with the name, was kind of wondering if the name Exodus could have been intentional to make you associated with Xbox One X.
That's actually a really good point.
I don't know. But that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's lots of X's going on, isn't it?
Did they give us a release window for this thing? Did they say 2018?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have to wait and see.
And Gav, you've never played a Metro game before.
Yeah. Never.
But this has piqued your interest.
It looked like a lot of fun, man. I think, like, the giant rats things, I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea, obviously, what's going on in this world. But, yeah, like I say, I'm into it. I think it was really, really good. Is it going to be like an open world game? Were the other ones open world? Or
I would
kind of.
It's in between,
Okay.
You had some freedom there.
Yeah.
Right. Ah.
This one looks like it might be true open world, so.
Yeah.
We also finally got our first official look at Assassin's Creed Origins during the show, and it's being touted as the beginning of the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Were you guys impressed by what you saw?
I like the hippo. Like the big
the
old hippo going mental. I was like, that's really good.
What about the giant snake?
Oh, that was the seller for me. That was the thing, and I was like, oh, this looks like it's actually going to have a lot of mythology in it. That looks really, really cool.
The idea of big boss battles in an Assassin's Creed game, sign me up for that. That sounds great.
The series has never gone into like fantasy like that. So that makes me wonder if that's like a dream sequence or a drug-induced
Well,
vision.
I mean, the Apple of Eden isn't exactly something that makes sense.
Well,
so they've dabbled in it a little bit, but I'm thinking now, you know how we had all these leaks for Assassin's Creed? It's possible that Microsoft were the ones that didn't want Ubisoft to announce because they wanted that exclusive gameplay reveal on their show.
Right.
So it's not like Ubisoft was like, let's not announce it. It was maybe a Microsoft call.
Yeah.
I also thought this visually looked fantastic. Like to me, you can see the high budget on the screen in this game. It's just like, wow, like a lot of money went into this, and it's all on the screen.
The guy's got a really sexy voice as well. Like, he's got a really lovely voice.
I totally agree.
Big
fan
really
of that.
Good.
Oh, actually, we have Marty Silva. Our Marty Silva standing by.
Okay.
to share his impressions of Assassin's Creed Origins. Marty,
Hey,
what'd you think?
I thought the reveal was super cool, but also Alana and I got to play the game a couple hours ago, actually, running on the Xbox One X. Ryan, you got to play it too, right?
Little bit,
yeah. And so I played about an hour of it, and honestly, you could totally tell that this is the Black Flag team. It's this giant, awesome, really just rich flora and fauna, diverse open world. Whether you're on horseback or whether I was infiltrating an encampment where I found a cage with a lion in it, and I just unlocked the cage, jumped up on a ledge, and the lion ran out and just ate everybody. Like, it was super fun, super cool, and I feel like this is a world that is kind of embracing fun in a way that the last couple AC games maybe haven't.
Yeah, I straight up, when I started playing, just jumped on a boat and kind of went sailing for a while, jumped in some water and found some treasure underwater. So it's really, really pretty and very dense, and I think a little more interactive. It seems like a lot of the people you pass by in villages are actually reacting to your presence or saying things to you, and I guess that's tied to it being his hometown.
I actually got, it reminded me, talking to one of our other editors too, who experienced the same thing, it reminded me of the first Assassin's Creed as far as the feeling I got while playing it, where it just kind of felt dense and alive and kind of like it was fulfilling that promise that the series had originally made to us way back when.
Yeah, and one cool thing is that they're really doubling down on the RPG elements. Yeah. And they said that they want this sort of day and night cycle where, say, a farmer, even if you're not in that place, a farmer's going to be farming during the day and then maybe drinking at night, and it depends where you meet him is how he's going to act with you. Also, a ton of RPG stats and loot, and we saw just collecting a bunch of weapons, and there was sort of like a rare aspect to them where there was a purple one that was obviously a little more rare than the blue ones, big customizable skill tree, so it looked really cool.
So you got the sense that taking a year off has been good for Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I really loved Syndicate 2 years ago, but the fact that the Black Flag team has been working on this for over 3.5 years, it really shows that this is a game that they realized some people got sort of franchise fatigue with this, and I think taking a year off is a smart move.
One aspect of Assassin's Creed we're all wondering is still in here. Is it just the animus, the trappings of the modern day sci-fi stuff? Do you get any sense of that?
Got zero sense of that. They really said they wanted to sort of double down on the historical aspect and the mysticism. So you saw that giant spooky basilisk, but they also said they're going to delve into mummification and the pharaohs and pyramids and everything. So this being the one that takes place the furthest back, I feel like we're going to focus a lot more on the origin of the Assassin Brotherhood than any sort of modern day Desmond stuff.
Thanks a lot, Marty.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what do you think of Assassin's Creed Origins?
It looks awesome, man.
Yeah.
It just looks so good. I love the parrying he's doing with his little shield as well. Like the combat in it, obviously like what Assassin's Creed is known for, but it just looks a lot more fun. It doesn't look like, it looks like you're really thinking about the stuff you're actually doing, which I'm not very good at, but still.
I love that arrow shot in the trailer where it just kind of...
Oh yeah, and it follows him. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it seems like right here you have some control over the arrow.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, we do have to take a quick break, but our Microsoft post show continues in just a minute.
IGN Live at E3 2017 is presented by the makers of 5-Hour Energy Shots. Upgrade to extra strength.
Jose Altuve is like a great player with a major energy upgrade.
I could use a major energy upgrade.
Then upgrade to extra strength 5-Hour Energy. It's fast, powerful, just the right size, like me.
Upgrade to extra strength 5-Hour Energy.
There's a challenging spirit within Honda. It gives us the courage to go faster and the thinking to make it real. Whether it looks like a truck, a sedan, or a coupe, inside is the heart of a race car.
Someone set me up. Someone from the inside. MI6, CIA, everyone's involved. Now, this only ends one way.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 and our Microsoft post show. We were just talking about Assassin's Creed Origins. Another big announcement from the show, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming exclusively to the Xbox on consoles. Is that a big deal for Xbox, you think, Ryan?
It's a nice get. I mean, that game is absolutely exploding right now on the PC.
Sure.
Everybody on my Twitter feed can't stop talking about it. I still want to try it. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. So yeah, I mean, to be able to, you've got the buzz already built up on PC, so when it comes to Xbox, everybody's going to be looking to the Xbox way for those of people that aren't PC gamers. Are like, well, all right, I got to go get an Xbox to play this thing.
I really like the look of the footage. For everything that I've seen of that running on PC, it never looks as clean as that. Like, it's all crazy stuff going on in that game on PC stuff. But they seemed like they went for like quite tame stuff in the trailers and stuff, which is kind of strange to me because that stuff has so much bonkers things going on in the game. I feel like they should have focused on that a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the game is an example that a game doesn't have to be super polished to be fun, right? It's been a little janky, but people are, what, 3 million people are playing on PC. I don't know, Alana, have you played it?
Yeah, and really enjoy it. The one thing I'm just wondering about is they said launch window exclusive. So does that mean it's going to stay Xbox exclusive, or maybe for the first year?
That's the new way of saying timed exclusive.
I think so. Yeah, that's the way they get around it so people don't realize. So I'm not actually sure because the very end card said exclusive on Xbox, but at the start it said launch window exclusive.
And then when console launch exclusive wears it out and everybody figures out what it means, they'll switch to some other term to try and fool you into thinking it's actually exclusive.
Yeah, totally not sure about that, but even so, I think this is a really good get for Microsoft. And with the way games like that move so fast, you know, we had Daisy, H1Z1, PlayerUnknown. Like they move so quickly that maybe by the time it comes out on PlayStation, it won't be as relevant. So I think it's a good get regardless.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, did they say a release date, release window for?
They said the end of the year.
The end of the year. So they'll be there in time for Xbox One X as well. And that's a game that can really shine on Xbox Live, I would assume, right?
Oh, of course. You gotta have it.
Battlegrounds is a battle royale type of game. Can you give us a little bit of explanation on what the game actually is and how it plays?
You effectively all have to run to a point in the center of the map and complete an objective. And that's the simple way of putting it, but it is incredibly chaotic and incredibly difficult because everyone's trying to do the same. It's sort of like if you put Hunger Games on crack and put it on a server. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and a ton of fun. And a lot of strategy as well. You can definitely stealth your way through there. I've tried playing it without killing people, and it's pretty much not possible. Just trying to be a pacifist didn't quite work out.
Killing required. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One, the Xbox One family as a console exclusive.
It's already confusing.
It's really confusing, man.
XS. We have a question from one of our viewers on Twitter that we can bring up right now. Hopefully, remember you can follow this whole show at Twitter, e3.twitter.com is the address. And this is Josh and Up, who asked, how expensive will the Xbox One X be in the UK retail?
In the Queen's money. I don't know. I guess it's going to be, it's like £391 is the direct sort of conversion. But I reckon it's going to be about 400 quid. I think,
I would guess in Australia it's probably going to be around $650 or so.
Yeah, so. $650 dues in Australia.
Yeah, that's good. That's a national currency.
Yeah, they did announce right at the end of the conference, $499. We can dig a little bit more into that later.
Almost in a cough, $499.
Yeah. We also got another trailer for State of Decay 2. Actually, we got a really nice long trailer for that this year. This is that game was a big hit on the Xbox 360. What you saw today get you excited?
Yeah, because it's the idea of a high-budget, polished, 4-player co-op State of Decay, which is basically what State of Decay 2 appears to be, is so appealing. Because again, the first one, the mechanics were brilliant. I mean, it was really like a role-playing game disguised as a sort of survival action game. And you can see a lot of that in this extended trailer that we saw. You can, the getting in the cars and everybody cooperating together, and one person, if you're alone, you're going to be in big trouble. There's stuff like stamina is a big part of this game, and you have to manage the relationships. At least you did in the first one, and I presume they'll bring that back. There's a lot of depth. Again, that's why I sort of liken it to a role-playing game in this, in a sense. And I just think, getting a budget and polish time, and I believe this is running on a new engine as well. With just the expertise of having made the first one, this game looks fantastic.
Alana, you were saying in our pre-show that you'd heard Microsoft is treating State of Decay 2 as a little bit more like a AAA title, maybe putting a little bit more money behind it. From what you saw today, do you see that extra polish in there?
Yeah, I think the environments look beautiful. I think they look a lot more detailed than they were originally. And it also looks like this here, there's tons more customization, which I'm really impressed by. It's also just really nice to have this game in a world where Left 4 Dead doesn't really exist anymore.
True.
Like, I
That's
love
true.
Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and it's nice to have this that is basically an expansion on what I loved about that franchise. So, yeah, it definitely looks like it's a lot more polished, but we will definitely have to wait and see if it's as buggy as the first.
Spring 2018. So, not this year, but that's okay.
Gab, what were your impressions?
This does nothing for me, man. Like, I don't know why. Just like nothing
didn't do
about
it for
this.
you.
Didn't not at all. I don't know. Maybe I think it's because everyone kind of walks like they pooped themselves.
Did you play the first one out of
no,
curiosity?
I didn't. No.
So you got it. You got to play the first one. You'll get it.
Yeah.
There are also
You'll
a
get
lot
it.
of zombie games.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to make them stand out.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. When I watched it, I was like, this kind of looks like a lot of the same thing. But I trust you guys, so if you guys say it's good, then that's fine.
Are you seeing, from what we saw today, are you seeing like the extra content that's being added? Does it look like it's offering more than the original did?
I mean, well, you can see the game world looks enormous, and I think they've actually publicly said, I think they've said something like it's three times bigger or something of a game world, and yeah, there's again the 4-player alone. This is going to be one. I wonder if this will be playable this week, or if they're just showing it at all in any other capacity. But yeah, there will be a lot to dig into with this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to my eye, it definitely looks better than the first game, but not super impressive visually to me, I didn't think.
Yeah,
I mean, it
I
looks
think
fine.
my point of saying I'm impressed by it is compared to the first game.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
You put
as a
them side by
2017.
side.
Yeah, not necessarily as a 2017.
Yeah, it's not necessarily so you look at
Feel like
that and go,
backshot.
oh man, I need an Xbox One X right now.
No.
But that's definitely not the point of State of Decay.
Okay.
All right, we do have another Twitter question we can bring up right now. This one comes from my personal friend, Ryan Mills. Do you think original Xbox games will come with achievements now? And what ones do you want to see on there? Time Splitters 2 for me. Time Splitters 2 is awesome. Yeah, I don't know if we've actually mentioned this on the show yet, but they did reveal that original Xbox games are going to be backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Yeah.
That was the
Which
thing
is
I
so
wanted
great.
most from this
Yeah,
conference,
you went
honestly.
crazy when they announced it. It was
I was
good.
so stoked about it. The lady was fixing my makeup, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just yelled at her. I'm really happy about this. I definitely think that they will have achievements. I think that that's a really important part of Xbox Live now, especially with the way you can share achievements, you can see achievements, the new achievement tracking system. I think that is something that's so integrated into the hardware.
And it would also give people a really good reason to go back, either go back to those games or go check them out for the first time. Like, well, if there's achievements, sure, I'll go check out Crimson Skies. I never played it back in the day.
Yeah.
So that'd be, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I just want Fable 1, Fable TLC.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
my jam.
amazing.
Yep.
That's really good.
Fable Anniversary was too buggy.
Yeah, what are there any other like original Xbox games that immediately come to mind? That you'd
Def
like to
Jam
revisit?
Fight for NY. Oh man,
Def
what a
Jam.
game! That was such an amazing game. I want that.
Ninja Gaiden Black, preferably, would be.
Oh, you mean real
ace.
games? Okay, fine. That's good.
And then I just had another one top of mind. Breakdown's a cult classic, and I'm not going to get my hopes on that. But Splinter Cell Chaos Theory would actually be the other one. The other one.
Yeah.
That's I gave that game a real big score way back today, and I stand by it. That game's so fantastic.
Yeah, we were getting set up here, ready to do this post show for you when they announced that. So I actually missed if there are any details about is the library
They'll look
limited.
better. The games will look
They are
better.
gonna look better.
And I think that was really all they said, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Do you need the original disc? We talked about this on Unlocked, our Xbox
Right, that's an
podcast
issue. Is
last
like
week.
if you need the disc, not that many people still have their original.
And they're just not in circulation, too.
Yeah,
so it'd be hard to come by.
Maybe they'll have to sell them on
digitally.
Yeah, exactly. At least you could buy them.
And hopefully they're priced well. If they're $5 or $10, I will 100% buy, rebuy a bunch of old games.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. That might be a little low.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be great for us.
Don't say that. Don't let Microsoft know that's okay.
I'm not approving it. I'm just
$10 is fine for Def Jam Fight for NY. I'll tell you that. Damn it.
An announcement like that, pleases current Xbox owners. But do you think it moves the needle for people who don't own an Xbox?
No, that's 100% existing, thanking your existing player base thing to do, and that's okay.
I kind of feel like that's a lot of what the conference was. It was a lot of things that are for people who own Xboxes already and not necessarily to draw new people in, and I think that that's an okay place for Microsoft to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was anything there that I would buy an Xbox for if I didn't already have one.
Yeah. And, well, they didn't say Def Jam Fight for NY, so I
can tell you're very excited about Def Jam Fight for NY. It is a nice feature that the PlayStation doesn't have. Right?
True.
Yeah, and it means the game library is enormous.
Yeah. All right, during the show, we did get an extended look at Rare's Sea of Thieves, and for me, that footage that we saw today really got me on board.
Yeah. I wanted to high-five someone when this was going. First of all, I thought the presentation of this extended demo was great, where they had a professional, humorous narrator compared to the sort of chaotic, 4-player shout fest that they did last year.
Exactly.
So I thought this was a great way to walk you through the game, and it showed off everything, Alana, that you and I have been wanting to see from this game of treasure hunts and things on land and undersea things and just other than we didn't really get to see the outpost. They mentioned it, then we didn't see sort of the NPC go back to an island thing. But
well, I think we also got an idea of what quests will look like.
Yes.
That's the one thing I want to know what you do as main quests or if there's a main storyline. One thing I think is missing still is I want really entertaining NPCs.
Yes, I agree.
Haven't seen too many of those, but I do think that we might get quests as a treasure map, and with the way that cave that they went into a cave, and then it seemed like leaving the cave things were scripted. So that is a quest. That isn't just an open world thing that they happen to stumble across. I think that is totally a scripted exit. So. Also, can we talk about the fact that you can get inside the cannons?
That was great.
That was the best.
And I thought for sure they teased the Kraken there on that cave painting, and we know the Kraken's in the game.
Right.
And I thought for sure that that would be how the demo ends, would be with the Kraken. But I guess
gotta wait.
We'll just keep waiting a little longer. It's okay.
It's like the first time that I've actually got a sense of what you actually do in the game, which I think that was a really, really good thing. I think even though the guy kind of got on my nerves a little bit, like the Scottish dude, like talking over it, you actually
probably not in the final game.
Yeah, probably not. Just talking over
everything. He comes in the collector's edition. He'll come home to your house and narrate the game for you.
That'd be really lovely. But yeah, it was like for the first time I was like, oh, this is what you're actually going to be doing in the game. This is awesome. I really want to do this. Like that was the first time I've got that sense from it.
I don't want to get you guys too excited, but we have Fran Mirabella III standing by over in the IGN newsroom for more on Sea of Thieves. Fran, what'd you think?
Damon, yeah, you probably know this as I was shouting it across the office before we left. This is my most anticipated game, I thought, of the year. Turns out it's early 2018, so that was the first big disappointment, but actually I'm super excited based on the footage that they showed. I heard you guys talking about it.
Yeah.
You see the treasure quest, as Alana was talking about. That is so cool. They're talking about, under the cliffs, buried beneath the sands, it lies hidden away from thieves' hands. And so you'll have this stuff like that you're actually figuring out with your team. Everyone who knows me these days probably knows I play a lot of Destiny.
Exactly.
So I'm a huge fan of these co-op games. It looks like it's going to even go beyond 4 or 5 player co-op. We played that last year at their booth. We just hopped on the boat, and just the biggest thing I would say about Sea of Thieves to think about is the chaos. You saw it in the trailer. There's a shark chasing you. You have to drop the chest, and you're yelling to your friend, like, help me. And he's like, oh no, I'm drinking on the bow. I'm drunk. You can actually drink. There's an endless cup of alcohol. So stuff like that.
Endless?
Yeah,
Someone
it's just always
the
there. Yeah, maybe you have to buy some more eventually, but I'm stoked for it for all those reasons.
Yeah, like you say, you're a big fan of Destiny and this sort of cooperative gameplay experience, but aren't you also a big fan of developer Rare?
Oh, yes. I mean, yes, I've been following Rare or Rareware since the 90s. They made Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, and one thing I've been thinking about a lot with Rare, not that they've ever been gone, but more than ever, I would say they're back. Sea of Thieves has that classic Rare humor. It's got the musical cues that we know they're famous for. If you've played Banjo-Kazooie, you know what I'm talking about. So it has all those pieces that Rare brings to the table, and that's what I'm feeling. Rare is back, and I'm super excited for Sea of Thieves.
Cool. Thanks, Fran. Yeah, Sea of Thieves is out next year, and I finally feel like I've got a good idea of what the game is, and I feel like I'm totally on board. We also got a new look at Crackdown 3 with a whole bunch of Terry Crews screaming at us. Terry Crews is in the game.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think so?
Then when they cut to the gameplay montage, it was other characters that were definitely not Terry Crews. I think this.
I don't think they were Terry Crews. I thought maybe he was going to be like giving you missions or do the tutorial or something. But Ryan, what did you think about this? It is coming this year.
Yes, same day as the Xbox One X console.
Like launch day.
I thought this was this presentation worried me a lot on behalf of this game, because we didn't get a proper gameplay demo. Right after this, they showed Shadow of War for
quite a long time,
5 minutes or something. Yeah. We did not get a proper gameplay demo of this. We didn't really see the destruction in action at all. I know this game has had a very long, complicated development cycle, so this game's due out soon, and we haven't seen it, really. We haven't really seen it. So I'm not going to push the panic button, because maybe it's going to be here, playable at E3 this week. I don't know, but just in the moment right now, I'm a little concerned that we didn't see not only more of the gameplay, but we didn't see really any of the destruction in action, which is, of course, the signature feature of the game.
Exactly. Yeah. What were your impressions?
Yeah, that's the thing. I hadn't actually thought about that until you said it, because I was watching this going, this looks amazing. It's only when you started talking about it, you were like, oh, I'm worried about this. I was like, oh, you're smarter than me, so that probably makes a lot of sense. But yeah, Terry Crews is awesome as well. Maybe that's what it was. I was too excited by Doomfist talking to me. So it's good.
By Terry Crews.
To be super fair, like a lot of games come, I've just observed them doing this for too long, and they come together. They really don't come together till the end. So maybe we're going to get a killer single-player destruction presentation at Gamescom or somewhere else. But it's fair to say for now, we just didn't see a lot of the game, and that's a little worrying.
Yeah, it had been 2 years since last we'd seen Crackdown. Alana, did it do much for you?
I'm a big fan of the explosions.
Yeah.
That's some of the most real-looking fire I've ever seen. No, I think it looks super high energy, but not to jump on negativity, this is the one thing that I wish we'd seen a little more variety of, and I totally agree with that. I think it looks colorful, it looks dense, it looks like a lot of stuff is destructible, so I'm totally sold on that, but exactly mimicking Ryan's thoughts. I wish I had seen more of it.
Yeah, like I was excited for it when we first saw it 2 years ago, and I just didn't see a lot more today. So it's like, well, I guess I'm still excited as long as I didn't mess anything up.
Good.
Microsoft did just wrap up its press conference, and it is time to break down the biggest moments. IGN's Keys to the Conference is presented by the all-new Honda Civic Si. Number one, I think probably the biggest news of the show, at least one of the biggest reveals, was the actual reveal of the Xbox One X name. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Is it growing on you? Have you come around to it, Ryan?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, quick aside.
6.0 out of console names.
In my previous job, I had the privilege of knowing a whole lot about the Xbox 360, like months before it came out, and I remember like, oh, 360, what a terrible name. I don't even get it. But then after like a day after it's announced, it's just fine. You just you just get used to it and it doesn't matter anymore.
The name has very little effect on the actual console.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I think it's confusing, but I'll be fine. I think it might just confuse parents a little, like, what does that mean? But I mean, we had things like that with, it's the iPhones, right? Like people are used to kind of the way that iPhones are named at this point. You've got a 7 and then a 7 Plus. It's like, what's the difference? But the main thing there is that Plus implies that there is more to it. X and S, I don't really know. I think the marketing is going to need to be really precise on it.
Gav, what were your impressions?
I'm fine with it. I don't mind.
Also fine. Do you prefer Scorpio without having like a cooler name?
What? Could have had a big scorpion on the front. It would have been amazing, Ryan.
Another huge topic, a big welcome reveal that people are going to be very excited about is that the original Xbox games, OG Xbox games, are being made backwards compatible on Xbox One.
I wish they'd have like ended with this. Just drop the mic at the end.
Would have been
like, here you go.
One more thing.
I mean, not to. That's super nitpicking, and that's lame of me. But
and Anthem looks cool.
A little bit. God, that looked real good. I'm sorry to get to that, but I mean, I really hope. There's still a couple questions, like we talked about, Alana. Is how can we get the games if they're gone or up in an attic somewhere? How's that going to work? But I mean, kudos to Phil Spencer and the team there for, original Xbox compatibility. You said it, Alana, that doesn't sell consoles, but to the players like us that have been with Xbox for 15 years, that is a just huge thank you. It's like an ultimate like insider hug, basically.
Yeah. And Gav is very excited to revisit Def Jam 5 for New York.
It's going to be great.
It's also just very on brand for Microsoft. I think if there's anything that they consistently push, it's that they will always support all of their consoles. So they opened saying that was just a shot of Scorpio, and it said, not Scorpio anymore, it's already difficult, but it had compatibility, saying all of your hardware that you can use on your Xbox One will work on Xbox One X as well. And I think this is just like totally a thing that they are really, really dedicated to, and I love it. I still have all my original Xbox games in their cases somewhere in Australia.
Do you really?
I bring them all over. Yeah, I kept all of them.
That's awesome.
I'm obsessed with collecting.
But they're the wrong region now that you live here.
Thankfully, the Xbox One is not region locked. Hopefully, the X isn't either.
Well, but your discs, I hope, it depends. Hopefully, you can play them all.
Hopefully.
Lots of questions.
Don't crush my dreams.
Microsoft did close out their whole conference with the big reveal of Anthem, which was teased yesterday at EA. This is the next big game from BioWare. Give me some impressions on Anthem.
It looked lovely.
Yeah?
Like, it looks like a proper BioWare game. Like, the eyes look brilliant. The lips looked amazing. Like, it looks really, really good.
It's funny that you say proper BioWare game and the eyes look brilliant. Like,
It's
Andromeda.
not
Oh, yeah, except for those ones, yeah. But yeah, it looked really good. Like, it looked like a lot of fun. Like, I kind of like getting in like a little robot suit and cutting about the place.
Yeah?
I like that it already fed us some lore. There was already things in that universe that looked really solid. Like, there was a lot of environmental storytelling. One thing I'm a little bit confused about is EA has the Star Wars property. Why wouldn't they make it a Star Wars game?
Well, because that deal will eventually expire. It was a 10-year licensing deal, and this they can own forever.
For a long time.
And keep all the money.
It just seems very odd to make another sci-fi game that isn't a Star Wars game when they're coming out with something.
You're saying, which, by the way, I'd be totally on board with, you'd have rather this been Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. But no, I thought it looked fantastic. That was one of the most visually impressive demos. It was a meaty gameplay demo. And, I mean...
The jetpack.
Yes.
Yeah. Jetpacking onto things through a forest.
Yeah, if it's, like I think we talked about in the pre-show, if it ends up being a Destiny-like game but with a high-quality BioWare story on top of it, count me in.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Well, we saw the Destiny-like gameplay. We haven't gotten to see any of the, like you mentioned, the story. What we saw looked beautiful and looked cool, but I wasn't able to see the BioWare DNA in what we saw today.
So like the chatting and stuff like that, so between them, and like I guess you didn't get to see anyone like chat with like NPCs or anything like that either. So I guess that's what we want.
You didn't get to romance anyone.
You didn't get to romance anyone.
No nice kisses.
Come on, guys. It's only like an 8-minute demo.
Cut to the kisses.
It takes. You gotta give that time.
Give the people what they want.
The people want nice kisses. I think we have to take a quick break, but we will be back with more from IGN Live right after this.